Hey guys, so this is the video you guys have been waiting for. This is how I make my budget sheet. So basically what I used is my iPad, my Apple Pencil, and the app Procreate. I definitely think it's worth it to buy it. I didn't know if I would really use it or not, but when I started in the planning community, I was like, oh, I need this app. And I'm so glad I bought it. I use it for everything with my digital planner. So what you want to do is, if you have a certain spot that you want your sticker in, you want to find that page. So mine is on my weekly spread. My spread is not filled out, as you can tell, but I have this empty, let me go to an empty page here. So this is what a blank week looks like, and there's this empty notes section here. So this is where I want my sticker every week. So what I do is I just click this box with the arrow in it, and I'm going to export this page as an image, and I'm going to export it to GoodNotes, or not to GoodNotes, to Procreate right here. So it's going to send it to Procreate, and then when you open up Procreate, it just imported my page right here. So with Procreate, you want to use layers. That's how you're going to get it the best of the best, in my opinion. So I'm going to click on these two boxes, and I'm going to create a new layer. So I'm not writing directly on this page. It may look like it, but if I hide that layer, I still have my background layer. So I'm going to clear this layer, and I'm going to work with, let's see, I'm going to do a blue just so you can kind of see. But I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm just going to create like a rough, I got to turn this a little bit, a rough rectangle here. And then once I get to this corner, I'm going to hold it, and as you can see, it's snapped into place. So I'm going to click Edit Shape, and I'm going to turn it into a rectangle. But as you can see, it's not straight. That's okay. You're going to click on this button again, and then click it again, and I'm going to turn on magnetics, and I'm going to turn off magnetics because it's not straight, and I'm just going to straighten it out along that top there. Then I'm going to click on that again. Oops, I'm going to zoom out first so I can see my shape, and I'm just going to drag it to be roughly the shape I need it to be. Alright, so once I have my shape, it's not completely straight, but I'm just doing this to kind of give you a rough idea because it does take a little bit to get it perfect. What I do next is I like my background to be transparent, but this notes section will show. So on this same layer with my box, I'm going to pull in a white pen, and I'm just going to draw over this notes section. You could fill in the whole box if you want. I just don't really do that. I just fill in that white section. So when I turn off that background layer in my background, you can see there's just a little bit of white there. You can make it a little bigger in case you don't line it up perfectly in your notebook, but that's all. Alright, so I'm going to turn on that layer again, and now we have our box. So this comes the fun part. You're going to put in the categories that you want. So I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm just going to go to this sketching section and just choose a pencil, and I'm going to kind of write out what I want. So let's say you need an income section, and say you only get one income, and you need your cash for your wallet, and you want gas, spending, and groceries. And then on this side, you have your sinking funds, and you have, let's say, a car, pets, savings, and date. I'm not doing all the ones I have just because it is a long process. All right, so once you have your little sketch, down here at the bottom, I also am gonna do a savings box because I like to put money into my savings account as well. And then I like to do a box that's what's left in my checking account. All right, so once you have your sketch, you're going to, again, create a new layer. Now, I'm going to go to calligraphy and do the monoline brush. That's just how I like to do it. And you want to create your sections. So you can do it however you want, but I'm just going to create a rectangle box for this income section. So again, it's not perfect, and I hold it, edit, and I'm going to make it a rectangle and click out of it. So there's my first box. I am going to click that and turn it a little bit so it's straighter. And there's my first box. So I'm going to use this box for my savings and my leftover. So what I'm going to do is just click on my layer button, and I'm just going to duplicate it and duplicate it. So I have 3 of them, and I'm just going to move one down here and one right above it. All right, looks good to me. Now, we're gonna do our other sections here. So I'm actually going to use this smaller section over here, and I'm gonna create a new layer. I know there's a lot of layer talk in here, but if you've worked with Procreate, you can kind of understand. I'm also going to combine these 3 boxes that are on separate layers here. And I'm just going to combine them by pinching them together. I'm still on a new layer though, and I'm going to create a box right in between these boxes here. And for this one, I'm going to do a rectangle as well, and click on my little cursor here to straighten it out. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate that slide and move one right over here. Now, this probably isn't going to look as neat and as pretty as mine, but it does take some time to figure out what sizes you need for the boxes. So this is just kind of, like I said, a rough draft on how to make it. And then I'm going to combine those 2 boxes that I just made, and I'm going to combine them with the 3 here. So I have the 2 and the 3, and I'm just going to pinch them together so that's all on one layer. I'm going to start a new layer, and for these, I'm going to write in my sections and create my lines. So for that, I'm going to click on this wrench tool and click on canvas, and you want to turn on your drawing guide. Now, if you can see, these boxes are very big, so I'm going to edit my drawing guide. Here's your grid size here, and I'm just going to make it pretty tiny. So right now it's at 70, and I wonder if I make those darker. Yeah, that's easier for you to see. So I just turned my drawing guide onto a darker color, but you can still, those go away. They don't stay there, I should say. So another great thing in Procreate, if I click on my tools or my layer button, if I click on the layer that I'm working on and I click drawing assist, if I start to draw, it's going to go in a straight line. So if I start going up, it's going to go perfectly straight, no matter where I go. If I go this way, it's going to go perfectly that way. You can't go diagonal, so it's either going up or down. So that is how I get my line super straight. So for this cash section, we need 4 sections because there's the cash, which is your header, and then the 3 sections. So we're going to count these boxes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's in the middle of those ones. Oops, we don't need all those. Okay. Went a little far. And then we're gonna split that one and this one. And then we're going to do the same over here. I'm just going to eyeball it. Like I said, it's not perfect. I did go over the line there, so I'm gonna just click my eraser. And, oh, we're still on drawing assist, so it's only gonna go up and down or side to side. Okay. I know this looks a little confusing, but trust me, it'll turn out. Now, I'm going to combine my lines with my boxes and create a new layer. So, up here, I'm just going to write them, my budget sheet, I typed them, but this is all up to you. I'm just doing this so it looks, it goes faster because my video is already super long. My drawing assist is off on this layer so I can write freely. I am gonna turn off this layer that has my sketch on it. I'm not deleting it, I'm just turning it off so when I write, it's not in my way. Okay, not the best writing, but that's okay. We're gonna leave it because that's all. And then I'm gonna write cash. Like I said, I'm just trying to make this as simple as possible, and then you can figure out how to tweak it for yourself. Ran out of room. That's okay. And this one will be savings. And if you do a zero-based budget, you wouldn't need this total left, but I always leave some in my checking. So now we're gonna go back to that layer with the boxes, and I'm gonna turn on the drawing assist just to make a line like that. Okay, and go back to the layer that has our words on it. So let's say, what did I say? Gas. Personal. And food. And let's say for our sinking funds, we have a car, date, and we'll say gifts. That's a popular one. All right. So, like I said, this isn't going to be as pretty as mine because it does take a while, but I kind of want to give you, an overview on how to do it. So once you look like this, you're going to go up to your layer tool, and I'm going to combine my layer with my words with my layer with the boxes and combine that. As you can see, I still have my layer with my sketch on it, and I'm just going to delete that because I don't need it anymore. I also am going to delete my layer that has my background on it because I don't need that either. And then I'm going to turn off my background color. So it's kind of hard to see, but you can see there. That's what it's going to look like. I'm going to combine these last two layers. So now my background, my blue border with the white is combined with everything in the square. Now if you click this wrench tool up here and you go over to share, you want to share it as a PNG. That's going to allow you to have that transparent background if you've turned off this background color. So you will go to your wrench, share as a PNG. Now you can save it to your images, or you can just copy it. I'm gonna copy it since I already have mine made, but if you want to save it, obviously save it as an image, and then you're gonna pull open GoodNotes. If you have it as a photo, you will click the photo tool and it'll be right there. If not, go to your lasso tool and hold down and paste it. So here it is. As you can see, it has a lot of canvas space. So you're gonna crop it down. I always crop it kind of close, and then I will click on it again and crop it so I can get closer to the lines. I should have changed that border to black, but it's okay. And then you're just gonna shrink it down to your size. So as you can see, it is transparent until you get to that one section with the white for the notes. So let's get a little closer. You can see how crooked it is, but we're gonna leave it. So that's basically how you make a simple income. Now, yes, it looks way more simple than mine, but I also used text in mine instead of writing, and I had a lot more categories. And you just have to take the time to make your boxes, figure out what size is going to work for how many sections you need. This is a very, very simple budget. And to be honest, this is probably about the categories I had when I first started. So you don't need anything super fancy or anything like that. But I hope this helps because I really did want to show you guys, but it's so hard. This probably took me over an hour to make, just with the tweaking and the making the sizes right and everything like that. So this is a very, very simple, messy version, but you just want to work with it, and your first one is not going to be pretty. Mine were not pretty. They looked like this at first, and then I slowly figured it out, and yeah, that's kind of how I made my budget sheet. And if you have any more questions, just leave them down below so I can try to help. I'm not a pro at any of this. I still am learning myself, but I decided to try and help you guys as much as I can. Anyway, I will see you guys later, and I hope that you guys like this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!